coastal process and their effects. Marine and coastal process. Coastal, the part of the land that are near the coast. Coastal waves processes occur when waves break on a shore, not only on oceanic sea coasts but also on lakes, ponds, and to some extent even rivers big and still enough to have waves. Coastal processes are responsible for some of the most amazing coastal landform or coastal formation in the country and around the world. Marine processes include waves, current, still water deposition, biological activity, tides, long-term rises, fall of sea level. Coastal processes result in coastal erosion, submersion, saltwater intrusion. Coastal erosion. Loss or displacement of land along the coastline due to action of waves, current, tides, wind, driven water, waterborne ice, or other impacts of storm. Erosion is the gradual breakdown of the land or coast due to an unending wave action, wearing away of the land by the sea and is done by destructive waves. Example of coastal formation that form by coastal processes: sea cave, sea arch, sea stack, and beach. Submersion occurs when amount of sediment exceed waves and current ability to transport it. Submersion refers to the event that cause coastal areas and even island to be completely covered by ocean water, usually during powerful storms like hurricanes. Usually after the storm leaves, the coast is again above sea level. Saltwater intrusion occurs when storm surge or high tides overtop areas low in elevation. It also occurs when salt water infiltrates freshwater aquifers and raises the groundwater table below the soil surface. Saltwater intrusion is a major concern commonly found in coastal aquifers around the world. The coastal processes are: number 1. Hydraulic action. The force of the waves push air into cracks in the rock. Occur whenever water from the waves enters crack in the cliff face and exert pressure on the surrounding rock. Number 2. Abrasion. When rocks and picked up and carried by the waves and are thrown into the beach and cliffs, damaging them. Attrition. When rocks and pebbles carried by the waves hit against one another and break down into smaller particles. Number 4. Corrosion. Salts and acid in sea water can react with rocks, slowly dissolving them away. When weak acid in sea water react with certain types of rock, usually limestone and coal, slowly dissolve the rocks. Once erosion occurs, the eroded materials are transported somewhere else by ocean waves and tides. This process called transportation or coastal transport. Deposition is when material that is being transported is dropped by constructive waves. It happens because wave has less energy. Deposition happens when the swash is stronger than the backwash and is associated with constructive waves. The rate of coastal erosion depends on the type of waves and thick, which in turn determines the size of the waves. Thick describes how long and how far the wind acted on the water. Coastal erosion. Coastal erosion is mostly due to large peaks, while small peaks produce small constructive waves and is responsible for deposition. Two types of waves that cause coastal erosion. Number 1, constructive waves build beaches and are seen often during summer season, responsible for deposition. Low waves and proportion to length, strong swash, weak backwash. Destructive waves. A wave that removes sediment from the beach, eroding it. High waves in proportion to length. A tall breaker, it breaks downwards with great force. Strong backwash, weak swash. Mangroves and coastal erosion. Mangroves and coastal erosion. Effects natural defense against coastal erosion. Reduce waves damage from strong typhoon and tsunamis, and their roots strongly bind soil together. Mangroves and storm surge. It is very important to rehabilitate our severely damaged coastal zone by planting more mangroves along the coastline. They are our shield or natural sea wall against storm surge and tsunamis because of their extensive root system capable of absorbing wave energy and reducing the velocity of the sudden surge of water. Every kilometer of mangroves can reduce water levels by 5 to 50 centimeters, reduce surface wind waves by more than 75% of their original strength. Hazard caused by coastal processes. Waves, tides, sea level change, crystal movement, storm surge.